Hello folks, Brandon here with Slingmods.com, and today we have our front fender sequential LED kit for the Can-Am Spyder. One of the most popular Can-Am Spyder lighting upgrades was the first generation SpyderFenderz Kit that converted your boring OE reflectors to LED reflectors and featured built-in turn signal functionality. Now that was introduced back in 2013, and while it had a solid run, we're all about stepping up the game. So we partnered up with our friends over at TricLED to bring you guys this, our second generation SpyderFenderz Kit. This kit features DOT style reflectors so that when your ignition is off, your beloved Spyder can still be seen at night, even when parked in unlit areas. Then once the ignition is turned on, you'll immediately notice the bright LED illumination of the amber and red running lights. Now these lights are much brighter LEDs than the Generation 1 kit and are closer together to give you a more modern look. But our favorite thing about the new SpyderFenderz Kit is that they now feature sequential LED turn signal functionality versus the old standard blinkers. Now the sequential style LED not only looks stunning, but drastically increases your visibility when out on the open road during the day or at night. Now if you already have the first gen kit and would like to upgrade to the second gen kit, you'd simply replace the old LEDs with the new ones, and then all the wiring from the old kit can still be reused for the new kit, making for a quick and simple upgrade. Now if you don't have our front fender LED kit and are thinking about getting one, allow me to walk you through the installation process. Start by loosening the lug nuts slightly while the bike is still on the ground. Then carefully lift your Spyder with the proper jack point locations to remove your front wheels. Then use a T25 Torx and 5/16 socket to remove these 5 screws from inside of the fenders. Now carefully unsnap this top portion of the fender and lift it up just enough to expose and remove this 5/16 screw holding the front LED in place. Next, take a flathead screwdriver and pry off the push nuts holding both reflectors in place. Then drill a pass-through hole for your wiring to be run from the back LED to the front, making sure not to drill through the top side of your panel. Now take the corresponding side marker and run the wiring through the appropriate middle hole and test fit the LED. Then go ahead and use an alcohol prep pad to clean the surface area. Peel off the protective backing tape from the LED. Line up the holes, and then push down firmly to adhere it in place. And then do the same thing for the rear LED. Feed the wires through the hole. Test fit it to make sure it's the correct side. Clean the surface area with an alcohol prep pad. Peel back the protective backing tape. Line up the holes. And push down firmly to adhere into place. Now you can take the rear LED wiring and pass it forward through the hole we drilled earlier. Connect both red connectors to the 2-in-1 splitter. And then add the extension. Next, take both yellow wires and give yourself about 7 to 10 inches before cutting off the excess. Strip the ends. Twist them together and attach a butt connector. And then crimp the black extension wire to the other end of the butt connector. As always, be sure to use some dielectric grease on all your connectors and tape them up with some electrical tape. Now feed your wiring down this opening on the inside front fender following the factory wiring. Reattach the front LED. Clip the top portion of the fender back into place. Next, take the extension harness and connect it to the corresponding splitter plug. And then run the wires down the fender arm, making sure it's up and out of the way of any and all moving parts. Then you can tighten everything back down with the 5/16 screws and T25 Torx. Now you can disconnect this OEM plug underneath the A-arm, plug the supplied inline harness into the factory harness, and be sure to zip tie any excess wires up and out of the way of any and all moving parts. Next, go ahead and turn on your ignition to make sure both LEDs light up. And if they do, you can put your wheel back on. And once your vehicle is back on the ground, make sure to reference your owner's manual on the proper torque settings of your lugs. Now we need to run the blinker wire up to your mirrors. Let's start by removing our left-hand side view mirror and disconnecting this plug. Now I made that look really easy because we have our magnetic mirror mounts already installed. But if you're still running the stock mirror mounts, you'll need to slightly push forward and up until the bottom clip comes out. Then hit the mirror up with an open hand until it pops off the other two clips. And then just disconnect the plug. Now take a T30 Torx and remove the below mirror wind deflector. Then pop open your frunk and remove this triangle cover so that you can access and unscrew the torque screws for this side panel and remove it along with the lower panel. And then do the same thing for the other side so that you can remove this front headlight fairing. This will now give you a straight access route to run that blinker wire up through the inside of the bike and out the same hole as the OEM mirror plug, making sure to zip tie any and all loose wires up and out of the way of any and all moving parts. Now carefully peel back the protective covering around the OEM mirror blinker wires, enough to access the positive wire and attach to the supplied T-tap. Then strip the end of the blinker wire we just ran up and crimp on the included spade connector so that you can plug it into the T-tap. Now turn the ignition on and hit that turn signal to make sure everything works. And then repeat that same process for the other side. If everything is functioning correctly, you can go ahead and reinstall all the panels back onto the bike in reverse order of how they were removed. And there you have it, folks. You've drastically increased your likeliness of being seen out on the open road and are doing so in style. Now staying safe is on your list of to-dos, then be sure to head on over to slingmods.com today and grab one of our 2nd generation front fender LED kits for yourself. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so I can keep you up to date on everything Spyder. I'm Brandon signing out. Till next time.